Well, we've already run into issues. The last video about this car, I said that any comments in that video would get written all over this car. If you've not seen it yet, click up here, see what the fuss is about, get your comments in, and let's get them written all over this car. But there's no point writing the comments on the car unless I know that the car is going to run. So I do need to get the alternator done. It's 6:30 on Monday. I need to just get it done, all right? It's 9 days till the ferry, so I ain't got much time. Let's get this thing running properly. The alternator lives there. As you can tell, unlike on a 1.8 where you can just get to it there, this is really tricky. So, whole front end has got to come forward. So we're going to take the bumper off, pull the slam panel forwards, which means getting the car up in the air. And at that point, I can have a look and see if there's anything else majorly dangerous about the car. Yeah, I mean, I can already see that the top mounts don't look the best, but they'll be all right, won't they? To get the front bumper off, I'm going to pull the arch lining down. Now, this has already got some different fixings in than it's supposed to have, so hopefully it comes off easily, but you never know. I've got to take the under tray off, and then we're going to take the top off and undo the fittings around here, but we'll see all that as we go. Well, we've already run into issues. All the joys of old cars. That's out of the way. You can see up there, there's a nut there, and then there's a nut there. There, what's holding the front bumper on. I've already done what's underneath. Just got to do the same to the other side. So this is the thing with old cars. You just never know the history, who's worked on them, how they've done the work. I'm undoing screws from places that they shouldn't be, that they obviously shouldn't be, that they're obviously supposed to be somewhere else. Yeah, so if someone's mixing up basic things like that, what else could they have done wrong when they're working on the car? In here we've got the two nuts that need undoing. And then the one that everyone forgets about is here, but it's missing on this one, look. Been gunked over there, but you can see where it would normally go. There. How bizarre. What is the story? Around this side, it is in place. Now across the top here, we've got to undo these T30s. Oh look, this one's already loose. Well, not tight, at least, not fully in. That's good. Once these are off, oh yeah. Once these are off, the bumper will come off. Across the front here, we've got 30 mils behind here. Same at this end of the crash bar there. And then we've got two M10 splines at each end. And then we can pull the whole thing forwards. I am going to disconnect this headlight just because it gives me another way to get into the space that I'm working. Just T30s around there as well. So I've got my transmission jack to support the weight of the whole slam panel assembly. And then once I've undone these, we're good to go. I nearly misled you there. There's two more to undo. How could I forget these last two? Right. Just here on the side. Got a 10 mil either side. There we can see the alternator. At least you can now see what we're working with. So we're going to move the charcoal canister, 10 mil there, and we can just squidge it out the way. This will probably snap. Let's see. That sounds like a snap to me, yep. Always do. Oh well, not that important. All right, now we can see the tensioner. We can see how it works. We need to put a bolt in the top there, which I think is going to be M8 from memory. And then basically make the whole arm swing that way. because you can see the bolt goes the other side of it. So as the arm swings that way, it takes tension off. You can also put a socket or a spanner on there and pivot the whole thing, but it makes it a bit more tricky. Let's see if I can find a bolt and do it the proper way. Gently. That should do it. Now the belt is off and out of the way. So we're going to want to take the tensioner off, which is 6 mils. Those three there, 6 mil Allen. And then the tensioner's out of the way. And then we need to undo the alternator, which is just going to be a couple of 13s. Now at some point we're going to need to disconnect the 12 volt from the alternator, which means that the battery needs to be disconnected. I did that right at the start. You probably heard a buzzing in the background of some of the clips. That was my charger charging the battery. So yeah, make sure the battery is disconnected. Now, some of you may be watching this thinking, well, is there a way that it could come out of the bottom instead of out the top? Don from the Parrot Bros did this test for you. And I actually watched his video and thought, yeah, I agree. Out the top is the easiest way. That's the only way I've ever done it. But I thought, oh, I wonder, what's it look like doing it from underneath? And it's just a pig nightmare because you have to take off the aircon pump and the power steering pump, which means degassing the system and yeah, faffing with loads of stuff. This way is just, yeah, more straightforward. But if you want to see that in full detail, head over to the Parrot Bros and have a look at his video, because like I said, Don went into a lot further detail on that. But if you just want to know a way to do it, this video will help you. So now we need to get this away from there. Now these are going to be tight, so we're going to get a screwdriver in here and just pry it away from the bracket. The longer they've been in there, sometimes you have to resort to tougher measures. Come on.
A few moments later.
Finally. Right, now that it's off, we can get easier access to, let me show you from here. Now that it's off, there you go. Get easier access to the connections. We can undo all these. And then look, we've got a massive chasm of space to get it out now. That'll do. Job done. Now, if you're wondering why that was so difficult to get off, basically as you tighten it up, these inserts get pulled through. So when you fit in a second-hand one, you've got to get these inserts to come back out the other way. So the spare that I've got is actually off a 225, but I'm 99.9% sure they're interchangeable. I'm about to find out though. See how it moved? Easy as that. So connected back up, and now that I've moved those inserts, I dare say I'll be able to put it back one-handed while I film. He says should be quite simple. It's just quite heavy to manoeuvre from this angle. Come on. Look at that. Hey, it's in. Job done. Let's pop some bolts in. Easy as that. Right, I'm going to get this back to a point where I can start it up. Not fully assembled because I haven't really got time tonight. Let's just get it running and make sure it's charging. Alright, well, this is it, isn't it? I've just got to put my foot on the brake. Oh. Oh, it's running, that's a good start. And now we check the hidden menu and see what it says. Let's turn the blowers down. I'm going to go up to 20. 13 volts. That's not bad, it's climbing. Now here's something to test. Well, that's good, isn't it? Under load. It's dropping a bit, but that's all right. That. Turn the headlights off. That's fine. Turn the blowers down. Yeah, 13.5 volts. I'll live with that. Right. Here's one for you then. Turn the aircon off. And goes up a bit more. So let me. Right. So temperature wise, in econ mode, I'm going to try and tell. And indoors, when it's not that hot, it's hard to tell whether the aircon's actually working, but just get an idea for how cold that's coming out, and then press the button. Oh yeah, yeah, that's colder. That's definitely colder. So I'm gonna have aircon on the trip. Get in! Some things are just meant to be, aren't they? Chop it there, chop it there, chop it there. Hey!